it's Kim over at the Homeschooling Grammy coming at you today with another collab. This collab is called the End of the Year Homeschool Evaluation, and the collab is being hosted by April at the Simple Rugged Path and Lee from Creative Two-Time Mom. There will be a playlist available for you to take a look at of all the other YouTubers that have decided to join in on this collab today. If you don't know anything about me, and this is your first time stopping by, I am a homeschooling grandmother of one grandchild. I actually have 4 grandchildren. One of them lives with me, and I have 3 grown children. Anyways, we like to do homeschool videos. I like to do collabs, day in the lives, homeschool review on curriculum, all kinds of little tidbits here and there. So anyways, if this is something that you're interested in, stick around. I'm going to answer 10 questions in this collab. Make sure that you stop by the Simple Rugged Path and Creative Two-Time Mom and the other people that join in this collab and see what they have to say with these questions. Okay, on to question number 1. Will you be making any curriculum changes? Well, yes. We decided to go from kind of a winging it by the seat of our pants type deal with science and history for kindergarten, because I figured, she's kindergarten. So we did a lot of unit type studies, some Kiwi Crate for science. We did some DK workbooks. We just kept it really simple for science and for history. We've read a lot of books, American Girl books. We're working through Little House on the Prairie. We did a whole unit on Native Americans. We did some Black history. So we just kind of were all over the place, wherever I felt like going. So for this coming school year, for her first grade year, we are going to do sassafras science. And actually we've already started it, and we are absolutely loving sassafras science. I plan on doing a whole review, or at least a look through of sassafras science. So for any of you that haven't heard of it or used it before, I'm going to go ahead and do a video here in the real near future. We just love it. It's amazing. And for history, we've decided to go with Story of the World. For first grade, we've also already started that. We're year-round homeschoolers pretty much. So when we finish, we just kind of keep going. So that's what we're doing. Technically, as far as our state is concerned, she will be finished up next week, because you have to meet the required number of days in our state. But curriculum-wise, we've already moved on. Even in math, we've moved forward, and we're on to Alpha. So anyways, yep, those are the changes we're making. Okay, question number 2, what are your summer plans? Well, for myself, I've decided I'm going to do a little bit of reading for myself, because I'm always reading to her or with her, but I never really do any reading for myself. So I'm going to do some reading. I'm also going to start out the summer spending some time with my other 3 grandchildren also. So we're going to have 2 weeks of absolute chaos in my house, and it's going to be awesome. I plan on working VBS at my church this summer. I also, I've already spent some time with my father fishing. It's his favorite thing to do, so we've done a lot of that already, and summer's not even here yet. And I also really like to refinish old furniture. I've done a few old pieces already, and so I have some in waiting that I've been waiting for the weather to get nice again so I can go ahead and start that back up. So I'm going to be doing that. And my granddaughter is going to be attending VBS with me, and also she's going to be doing a summer theater camp. So that should be a lot of fun. But anyways, that's kind of a glimpse of what we're going to do for the summer. And of course, we're going to keep on trucking in homeschool. The load is going to be a lot lighter. We'll just be basically concentrating mostly on reading and math, and just kind of going, with the flow, and just kind of taking it easy until fall. Question number 3, do you have a last day of school tradition? No, we don't, not really. I mean, we did pre-K 3 and 4, and then we've done kindergarten, of course, this past year. So, I mean, this is like our first official school year, and I don't really have any plans per se. I was thinking that maybe we'll do a little cap and gown thing and do the whole like graduating from kindergarten thing, but no, we don't have like a tradition at this point. We're still kind of early in the game. All right, question number 4. Have you already bought next year's curriculum? Well, yeah, because like I mentioned earlier, we are year-round homeschoolers, so I'm constantly looking at new curriculum. So I'm always planning, I'm always researching. I'm kind of a curriculum junkie. So yeah, they've already purchased, and actually we are using quite a bit of it already. Question number 5, what are some changes you made this past year and how did they work out? I didn't really make any like huge changes this year. Like with her reading, we've been kind of on the fence still. We've been using All About Reading all school year. I recently purchased The Good and the Beautiful. We've started using that also somewhat because I'm one of those people, like, I don't want to really give up on All About Reading because I do really think it's a wonderful curriculum. And I'm still on the fence with whether to hold on to it or move all the way to The Good and the Beautiful, or because there's things about both of them that I like. So I've been trying to like finagle and use both of them, but yeah, no real huge changes. On to question number 6. What was your favorite field trip this past school year, and will you do it again in the future? Well, my favorite field trip, we decided that we were going to go to Manhattan and see the Christmas Spectacular this past year, and we just loved it. My granddaughter had the best time. We had the best time. It had been many, many years since I had been there to see that show. We've been to the city, a couple of times, but not to see that show in a really, really long time, and it was amazing. Yeah, I would love to do it again. So most definitely in the future we'll be going there again. Okay, question number 7. What was one mistake that you made in the last school year that you learned from? For me, I think it was planning too far in advance. I like to do the 6 weeks on, 1 week off, Sabbath type scheduling. And I mean, we didn't always stick to it completely, depending on what was going on in our family life, or life happens sometimes. So if I knew that there was something coming up and we needed to go into like week 7 or 8 before we took a week break, then that's what we did. Or like in the month of December, because it's just so busy for Christmas time, it's whatever. We school year round, so it really doesn't matter. But anyways, I learned not to plan too far out. I was doing like 6 weeks of planning at a time, and it ended up making more work for me sometimes, especially with reading for my granddaughter. It's been a slow process, and I have to remind myself she's in kindergarten. Like, who cares if she can't read yet? And actually, she's doing much, much better now. But yeah, so you plan all this out ahead of time, and then you kind of backtrack, or you kind of slow down, and then you have to go in and erase what you've planned, and it's just a big pain in the neck. And that's where my lovely friction pens have come in very handy this year, because they're so erasable and they're absolutely awesome, in my planner. So yeah, that's my biggest thing. I mean, now I don't go more than 2 weeks out in planning, because stuff happens, and sometimes we're learning about something and we don't want to move on, or we want to read something else, or we want to do some other activity that goes along with whatever we're doing, or like I said before, or we're stuck somewhere in reading, and we want to make sure that that she loves to read and that it's fun for her. So yeah, I'm not going to get stuck to my plans. That's one thing I've learned. On to question number 8. What was your favorite read aloud from this past year? Well, we read so many books this year. I wrote them all down, and I need to count them because it's craziness. We go to the library all the time, so we read tons and tons. But I guess if I had to pick my absolute favorite, it would be the Little House on the Prairie series that we are still working on, actually. And I'm actually not doing the reading. I decided to buy the audio CD, and it's been really fun, even for me, to sit and listen to the series on a CD. And we can go ahead, and we still have the book, because you got to have the book. So we have the book with us, and we flip the pages as she's reading the story to us, and we can still look at the pictures and still get the feel of the book at the same time. So it's been a lot of fun. Okay, on to question number 9. What personal read encouraged you most in your homeschooling journey? As I was saying earlier in this video, I don't take time to read for myself. So the only book that I read is the Bible. So that encourages me the most. It's really food for life for me. It has everything that I need to know as far as being a mom, a grandmother, a homeschooler. And but this summer I do plan on doing some other reading other than the Bible, and probably we'll do some books. Okay, last question. Question number 10. What area of strength have you grown in the most this past school year? I would say letting our curriculum work for us instead of us working for the curriculum, so to speak. That it's okay that we don't move along at a certain pace, that we can move faster, we can slow down, we can come to a screeching halt if we need to. If we need extended time to make sure that a concept is solid before we move on, that's okay. And it's even okay that if the curriculum doesn't work at all, to throw it out and start over and do something different. That's been really hard because, especially if you have a price tag attached to a curriculum, you're like, yikes, I spent this much money and I really need to make this curriculum work. And no, you don't. You really don't need to make it work. Sometimes you just have to cut your losses and say, you know what, bite the bullet, it's got to go, and sell it on a used curriculum site or whatever it might be. But yeah, mostly just making sure that I just tweak curriculum and use it how it best fits us. All right, friends, that's it. I can't even believe that we're doing an end of the year homeschool evaluation. Like, where did the school year go? Feels like we just started. Anyways, this was a whole lot of fun. I want to say thank you to April from The Simple Rugged Path and Lee from Creative Two-Time Mom. Please make sure to check out the playlist below and to check out their YouTube channels also. There will be links to their channels in the description box also. Also check out the other YouTubers to see what they had to say about their school year. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please remember to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell if you want to stay up to date on new videos as I load them. I'll talk to you soon.